Welcome to Affiliate Talks by Awin. It's our goal here to democratize our knowledge. This show is for all those who seek to gain understanding of this ever-growing space. I've got with me Tim Lomborg, who is the Managing Director of Awin and the Nordics here, and we want to talk about the upcoming Awin Fashion and Retail Day. It's an event that we've had for the last 3 years running. Without further ado, give us a little bit of background on exactly why Awin does these events in the first place.
My name's Tim. I'm the Managing Director for Awin here in the Nordics. A little bit about my background. I'm originally from Denmark. I moved to Germany back in the early 2000s where I started working at Awin, or what was Xanox back then. Back then, Awin was already doing events, a lot of these events, global events. We have a long tradition of doing both global but also industry-specific events. And I think the main reason why we're doing it here in the Nordics is that when I arrived here, I quickly realized that there was a big gap for the community, the affiliate marketing community and industry here, to have these events. And I think they're vital for this community to get people together, to have as much face time as possible, which is not really possible in the day-to-day, but also to have some very important discourses about the topics that are driving the industry.
Obviously, in other instances, there are more established bodies that create a sort of cohesion within the affiliate industry that clearly you noticed originally sort of doesn't necessarily exist here in the Nordics. Is this really kind of a way of sort of bringing together all of those sort of disparate players kind of into one room to really get down to business?
That was a first solution to get people together. In Germany, there is the BVDW, the tradition of a German name. It's very long. Bundesverband Digitaler Wirtschaft. In the UK, the IAB is very active for the affiliate industry. And I think that's kind of the optimal way also for the industry to gather around and to really start some discourses around topics that have to be addressed. Self-regulating topics, for example, that are very important. But for us, this was a first step to get all the key players in the industry together and to meet and talk about these things.
And what's the general layout of these type of events?
Well, the general layout is to power connections, and it's about a lot of networking time. So we really want to have as much time as possible to get the publishers and the advertisers to sit together and talk about campaigns, strategy, targets, KPIs, what do the advertisers want to reach, what do the publishers want to reach. That's really important to have as much time as possible around that. We also try to organize round tables with key players of the industry. We have a VIP dinner at the end of the day where we also discuss about what's happening and what's driving affiliate marketing. And then, of course, we have some stage time for our speakers where we try to give as much information from Awin as possible, knowledge from the different regions that we have, knowledge that we can deliver from the Nordics, and to show publishers and advertisers what kind of trends lay ahead.
Speaking of kind of trends, I know in the past we have, had an agenda based on sort of what's coming up, what's around us, and for Awin, that has been a major transformation in platform, which has enabled us to utilize some additional technological tools. And, we've had sort of the whole influencer topic as a topic in previous years. What is the red thread that's going to be drawn through this year's event?
Well, the title of this year's event will be the bold statement, the future of e-commerce. And what we're actually trying to achieve is to talk about some of these trends in general that are going to have an influence on the affiliate industry. And the speakers we've invited are very, very knowledgeable about affiliate marketing, but also outside of affiliate marketing, which I think is important so we can put our industry in context with the bigger picture. And they're going to be talking about, some of the things that are relevant for us in the next few years also, quite in the near future. And they're going to try to put this in context with affiliate marketing for publishers and advertisers. So it becomes very relevant for everybody to see how they can prepare, adapt, and look forward to things that are coming.
Okay. And last year was at Fotografiska, year one, Operatressen, which was a ridiculously beautiful place to have an event at. Actually, both of those locations were amazing. This year it will be
at München Bryggeriet, down near Slusen here in Stockholm, in the center of Stockholm, which is also a very beautiful location. It's getting harder and harder each year. We have the aim to really find a new location for each event. So we don't want to have it in a repetitive location. And München Bryggeriet was, I think, the 4th or 5th place that I visited together with our marketing team. As soon as I saw it, I knew this was going to be the best place for our event. It's a great space on 2 floors. It has a very prominent kind of speaker stage, so our guests can get the most out of the speakers that are there. And it also has some smaller areas where people can pull back and get some alone meeting time to talk.
What can attendees expect in terms of scale?
So as for now, we're still over a month away from our event. We have over 100 publishers attending already, and we expect quite a lot more than that. And we have some agencies as well coming. We have some advertisers coming, a lot of advertisers. So the Ellis Group, so Ellis and Jotex coming. We have ICA Gruppen with Apothekegärdet and Hemtex.
You talked already about sort of the importance of drawing kind of a red thread throughout the entire event. And that can be a difficult task to undertake. So how important has it been for you, for the team here at Awin, to select speakers capable of sort of speaking to the entire industry, all without kind of losing the big picture?
Picking out the speakers is always love, sweat, and tears at the same time, because on the one hand, you get to talk to a lot of very interesting people who have lots of things to say, but you have to start to filter out what is important at this moment and what still fits in your agenda and the red thread that you have. For the topic, the bold statement I was mentioning before, the future of e-commerce, we wanted to have something more broad and narrow at the same time. It sounds dual in the way that we say it, but you can't really just focus on your own industry and on your own topic too much each and every year. It becomes more relevant when you look at the broader picture and put your own industry into context with it. And I think that it hasn't been done enough, and I think this will be very interesting and something new that we can look at on the 27th.
I'm just going to give a little background right now because it's funny and that's nice. I've done this question that I've just asked him. I asked him about 7 times because I tried to ask it and I couldn't ask it and make it make any sense. So, hopefully it made sense the last time, but it was rough for me. I was really struggling with it. All right, anyways, and also just a bit of housekeeping, just so everybody's aware. In the next few episodes of Awin Talks, we will be featuring a bit of background on the individual guests, short form interviews for the actual speakers. And I'm really excited to share that with you guys because we are very excited for this particular speaker group. That being said, we've talked about the location, we've talked about the why, we've talked about the how. Is there any last bit of information that you want to share with people that's kind of a final hook? What type of insights might people gain from this event from Awin's perspective?
I hope for anybody who comes that they will get the opportunity to meet their partners. And that's what it's all about. And through those meetings, and I've done this for a lot of years, and I've been to a lot of these meetings, even though they're sometimes very compact and in a very short format, they always give a good return, give you, the possibility to set up new partnerships, to advance them, to optimize them. I think that's very important. I mean, we're going to be talking about topics that are relevant to the industry in general on stage. And I think this year's program is very good. There will be some good insights. Awin will be sharing some stats, some first results from the new platform that we have and how it's benefiting the industry and the publishers and the advertisers as well. So overall, this will be a well-rounded event and agenda that we've set.
I think there's such a huge benefit in being able to FaceTime directly with your partner or potential partner. We here, of course, with the slogan of Powering Connections, are all about facilitating those relationships. But there's a huge difference between facilitating a relationship via email or via phone or as a middleman than there is to sit there and say, hey, this is the potential opportunity, and that's the guy or girl that you can do it with. It really gets the ball rolling.
Yeah, I mean, it's also this constellation, most of the meetings are like a 3-party meeting with the publisher, the advertiser, and our account or key account managers. So there's a lot of knowledge in that constellation. And in a 3-person meeting, ideas start flowing, Maybe somebody's tried something that they throw into the discussion, and then, things happen quickly. It's impossible to do that over email. It just doesn't work in the same way. And that's why it's so valuable.
At these events, the entire Awin team will be on hand. We encourage you to seek us out, of course. Ask whatever questions you have beforehand. If there are any specific meetings that you'd like to set up, don't forget to reach out to your contact person here at Awin or directly through the Awin service box. So, Tim, thanks a lot for the update, and we look forward to sharing more about the event in the upcoming weeks.
And I look forward to seeing everybody there.
As always, there's much to be done. So, remember, know your market, understand your target, and never, ever, ever stop growing. Once again, I'm Benjamin Mullen, Senior Business Development and Client Strategies Manager at Awin AB, Awin in the Nordics. Until next time.